Welcome to the Legal Circus Podcast. I am Tom Grajek, trial attorney in Florida. And I am here alone today because my partner, Keely Karatinos, had to be in trials and my trial did not go. We were back up. So the primary trial went and we did not. But that's good news because we get to bring you legal commentary on the biggest trial going right now, the au pair murder trial. Now, the au pair murder trial is a little bit crazy, and we have the husband accused of killing his wife because he's having an affair with the nanny, and then this poor guy gets pulled into it. So here's what happens. The husband, who's an IRS agent, is having an affair with the nanny, and so he pretends to be his wife, puts an ad on the internet, this guy answers it, and the ad says, the husband pretending to be the wife says, I have a rape fantasy. I want you to come over and rape me. And the whole point of it is he wants the guy to come over so that he can set him up and blame him for the murder of his wife. And then to make sure he doesn't talk about it and tell you what happened, well, he's going to kill him too, allegedly. Okay, we have, normally Lex is on the other side of the camera, but we had to bring her in here because I was at National Trial Lawyers doing my seminar. I had to present at it, so I had to prep for that. I had an appeal that was due, and I won the motion. I didn't know it, so I was doing an appeal I didn't have to do. And besides that, I had 7 evidentiary hearings in 6 days, and I had a trial today. Well, my trial, as I said, it went away. We were back up. The primary trial went. And so I have not been able to go over the soup that is the au pair murder trial and the nonsense that seems to be going on. And Lex knows this stuff, so she's going to walk me through and tell me what's going on. And she has the clips ready. So women love the drama. It's like a soap opera. All right, so the first clip we have is the 911 call after he finds his wife killed by this guy.
Yeah, so according to him, he comes in, he hears something through like a vent in the kitchen, he hears moaning, skin to skin, he says. I don't know how you hear that, but he hears that.
All right, stop. He heard skin to skin through the vent.
Yeah.
And where is he?
He just came from McDonald's.
Right.
So he already ate at McDonald's.
So he like puts it on the table and he hears through the vent, hey, or...
Yeah, basically.
It's like a galosh. Galoshes in the mud. You know what I'm saying? But doesn't he go, honey, I'm home?
Nope, he just goes straight to the room.
Okay. But I did see that part because I saw a clip as I was on Facebook, and Brandon said he saw the guy behind his wife.
Yeah. He also says a lot of different things, honestly. Okay.
So right away, very first thing doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And now this is the 911 call, which I kind of heard. Okay. So we're going to play this.
13330 Stablebrook Way.
Okay. And what's your name and what's going on?
My name is Brendan Banfield. I'm a federal agent. This is my house. There's somebody here. I shot him. But he stabbed her. She's bleeding. She got several marks on her neck. What do I do?
Okay. So what I need you to do is apply direct pressure directly to where she's bleeding from, okay? And if it becomes, just add more cost to what's already there. How old is the person?
So this is our problem with it is he seems to be extremely calm.
Right.
That like, because the first thing you're doing is call 911, I guess.
Well, okay, so the nanny was there as well.
Okay.
And
the one he's banging.
Yes.
Right.
She actually called 911, hung up. They tried to call her back. She didn't answer. And then she calls again, and now he's talking to them.
On whose phone?
I'm not sure.
Okay. And then the other thing is, like, where is his tears?
Right.
So there's no emotion here on.
You just shot somebody. You just saw your wife being raped, and you're just like, hey, yeah, I'm a federal agent.
Yeah. And well, we don't know where the gun came from. Did he have it on him? Here's the other problem with this is that, and I know a little bit about what's coming, is she's bleeding from the neck because he said she had marks on her neck.
Yeah.
But then he later says she got stabbed by this guy.
Yep.
That he pretending to be her, got him over to the house to do the rape fantasy.
Yep.
So the 911 call operator says, you know, put pressure on it so that you don't bleed out.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't do that if he's on the phone. And where is he anyways? Like, there's like no noise coming from, I guess everybody
It's just
was
the
dead.
nanny like hyperventilating in the background is all you hear.
But I guess everybody would be dead already at this
Well,
point.
she actually dies at the hospital, the wife.
So we don't hear any, is he in the same room or we don't know?
I think, I'm not 100% if the like hyperventilating is the nanny or maybe it's her like gagging on, you know.
So this is the problem as a trial attorney, is that you would be a potential juror, and these are all questions they're going to be asking. So you better have answers for the jury to go, why is he so calm on the 911 call? Is this a good look or not? That in the courtroom, it's very difficult for, you know, defendants because they're very nervous and they don't know how to act in the courtroom. And it was a huge problem in trials I've been in before. But that's kind of one of the things we got is a believability problem here. Is there anything else on this 911 call?
No, it's just his calmness that kind of worried me a bit.
But as a defense attorney, you're stuck. It's like, that's a 911 call. This is the picture, or this is the surveillance video, and it is what it is. And sometimes you got to try and make chicken salad arguments out of chicken, and you can go, squawk.
I don't know what was that. And Brendan said, well, they dropped the knife, because he had a knife. And then he said, drop the gun to Brendan. They were yelling. I couldn't understand. They were super fast.
So this video is when the police come and right after.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I see, again, you work with what you have, is she's not really nervous. She's not shaking her fingers or, you know, like shaking uncontrollably because she just witnessed a murder. And she says that the guy, the sap, I don't really want to call him a sap,
Yeah.
the poor guy who got set up by Brandon, she says he has a knife.
Yep.
And the guy with the knife tells Brandon, the husband, drop the gun, as if he's going to kill her, his wife who did die.
Yeah.
And so how does she see all this?
That's what I find ironic is they both had these plots that he was going to be at McDonald's. She is supposed to be taking the 3-year-old daughter to the zoo, but somehow she just comes back from the zoo and right at the same time he shoots this guy.
Right, but are like, you're her, I'm him. I'm Brandon, you're the au pair. Are they like standing at the door? And
Maybe it's more like he's like this and she's like
behind
yeah.
him? All right.
That's what I would think.
Well, she's really not believable here either. So this ain't looking too good for them. Now, the next clip we have is the au pair, and she's going to tell the court and the jury what happened when they first get in the room. And so this clip's a little bit nuts. We listened to it, and Lex is going to overlay it so you can watch it. And
Get into the bedroom, I could see Joe on top of Christine. Brendan said, police officer. Christine's first reaction, she yelled back at Brendan, saying, Brendan, he has a knife. That's when Brendan first shot Joe.
What did he look like when he saw Brendan?
Shocked. Christine, she was still on the floor. She said my name. She told me, Juliana, call 911. Brendan looks at me and just in a way for me like to hang up the call.
What gesture did he make?
He got on top of her, and that's when I first saw him stab her with the knife.
So apparently when she walks, or she's behind Brendan,
Yep.
and she says, he's got a knife.
The wife.
The wife says, I'm sorry, yeah. That's another big thing. That's a good thing. When you do a trial, and again, I'm kind of learning this because I've been so busy, is we try and not use contractions because you might miss the nt. And you want to be clear with the jury. So you say did not, do not. So the other thing is you want to use labels for people. So you use wife, you use husband, defendant, because if you've got a lot of, people involved in the trial, you can't keep track of the names. So it becomes wife, au pair, nanny. You can kind of call him a sap because he was kind of a sap, but he's doing weird stuff too that most people are going to think weird, that he's answering ads and pretending to be a rapist. Yeah. But that's one of the big things you do in a trial. You got to keep it simple so everybody can follow the story. And I'm learning kind of as we go here. Yeah, great podcast, right, Tom? And I'm like, well, we got to get this out while it's fresh, and this way you get my kind of live reaction to it as a trial attorney, what are we seeing? And so you get background as to what we're doing as trial attorneys and going, okay, this is how you present a case to a jury so that they understand it. So she walks in, wife says, and that would be her label, wife says, I'm going to use sap. I know it's bad, the poor guy got killed, and but you pretending to be a rapist without really looking into it and just trusting a guy, you're not that bright either. Yeah. Because a wife could kill you. Yeah. So, yeah.
It was a fetish dating site, if that matters at all. So they're all kind of they all think they're all connected in weird stuff.
I know, but again, as an attorney, you're looking at it. Hindsight, 2020, you're looking at it and going, well, wait, shouldn't I have done a little research on it other than just getting a picture? Because you get catfished. Mm-hmm. We'll call them catfish. That good?
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, you got catfish. I mean, the poor guy died. I don't want to call him sad.
Oh, we can call him Joseph.
Well,
Ryan.
Yeah, but people don't remember names. That's why labels are easier to understand. We'll call him catfish because he got catfished. So, husband, the story of the husband and the nanny came up with, well, we'll go in the room. Mm-hmm. And this is actually this part's not made up, apparently, that the wife said he's got a knife. Right. And so Catfish was actually really playing this out with a knife. Right. And so I'm sure the wife is fighting him the whole time. Yeah. And again, that's if we believe the au pair now, who's been having an affair and knew the murder was coming, right? Yep. She was part of the whole plan? Yep. Okay. So, so apparently in this testimony that you've overlaid, the au pair says that the wife says, look out, he's got a gun. Mm-hmm. And then husband, the defendant, shoots the guy. Catfish. Yeah. And then what do they do with the wife then? Then they go to...
Then he takes the knife that Catfish brought and stabs his wife.
Do you have gloves on?
I would assume he had something because I believe I read that there was none of the DNA was on.
Fingerprints or DNA. Yeah. Or he said, "Oh, I picked up the knife."
And he didn't have his wife didn't have her DNA under her nails or anything things like that.
Yeah. But then he picks up the knife, or he has the knife that the catfish guy was using. Husband takes that and then stabs and kills his wife. Yep. And that's the testimony from the au pair. Yeah. So she is flipped, and now she's saying, this is what the husband did. And the other thing that you notice on the clip is that this is always important too, that you have to do this with your clients.
When first get into...
I'm going to turn the sound off and so that you can just look at it. And the question is right here. That's when she said, made the statement, and then he turned up and looked. Does he look believable? Does he look credible? I do not I didn't use don't. But I do not like the way he's dressed either. What you want to do, they're long trials, so you got to have a lot of outfits, or you use 2 outfits all the way through the trial, and you just rotate them with 4 ties. And there's the poor wife.
She's so pretty. Yeah.
It's sad, especially when they've got kids.
Yeah.
But here, I think that's black. I don't like, gray and blue are your trust colors. That's why this is my trial suit. That's why I wear gray and blue, because your trustworthiness goes up. But now we know how it happened in the room.
Right.
And he stabs her there, but she doesn't die till the hospital.
Yes.
Okay. But that's what we look at as criminal defense attorneys. And this here is husband and nanny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that could be an innocent picture, but I didn't.
She actually tells some of her friends, like, about their affair and actually posts them on her Instagram.
That the wife doesn't know about?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. See, this picture here looks more intimate because of, the body
Yeah,
right
they're
here.
touching, and I don't think I would be like that with a babysitter, so.
Oh, that's right. It's right. Not good, but as a defense attorney, you have to deal with.
You work with what you got.
Yeah, the cards you're dealt. Okay, we're gonna go to the next clip. This next clip is one, I saw this on Facebook, and I said, we got to do a commentary on this trial, and I sent it to Lex, and this is what I wanted that just popped out at me, and I'm like, we got to do this. Again, this goes to client control. There's a lot of things with clients that they're not used to being in the courtroom. So as an attorney, you have to train them and go get them comfortable with it and work with them on being comfortable in the courtroom. Big thing is people don't know what to do with their hands. Look at you.
I know, yeah.
So one of the things you can teach your client is the power pose.
Uh-huh.
And
What
this
is that?
is it.
Just this?
Yeah, but do this with your fingers, because it's kind of like steepling a church. Nobody knows what it means, but you'll see people do it, and this is a power pose. It signals to people you're in control and you have strength.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So here, this is what just popped out at me like huge. And again, people are nervous, and they've got a lot of stress going on in the trial, and how people react to it, it's always different. But as soon as I saw that, this is what I thought. This is from The Simpsons.
You twice, correct?
Yes, she did.
Was there, in having her come to the range, was there any plan that she was going to back you up on some plan?
I mean, there was no plan at this point when we had gone to the range. There was no
Huge problems with this. Number one, his eyes are all over the place and he's blinking real weird. So to me, this gave me huge credibility issues. Another thing that you do is you need to train your clients. And he does it a little bit, but this is what he does. And I'm trying to turn as much as I can because I'm going back and forth. But what your credibility with a jury or someone you're speaking to goes up, studies show 10 to 30% if you turn your entire torso and you look at them. And so he does it a little bit. So if you're the jury and I'm up on the stand, what he's kind of doing is going, well, he'd try and look over, but then he'd go back to the attorney and answer them. And what you want to do is turn your body. Here's the way it works, and I explain to clients. I go, ask me if I killed the bad man.
Did you kill the bad man?
Yeah, I killed the bad man. Yeah. Oh. So how does that come across to you as a juror? Ask me the question again.
Did you kill the bad man?
Yeah, I killed that son of a bitch. See, now it's believable, and I'm looking at you, and I get better credibility. But if you're doing and going, yeah, I guess I shot him. Yeah, I shot the son of a bitch. He was coming at me with a gun. And so that's what you got to teach your clients is to turn and look at the jury, because not just your head, but your entire torso is what you want them to look at the jury. You got to be careful with it, though, because if you're always going like, question, question,
right,
and then you become a robot. You're doing a robot dance. So you got to practice with the client so that they get used to it. And practice is not a bad thing because they're not professional witnesses. That's a big thing. When we're doing criminal cases or when you're doing a PI case and you have a medical examiner or someone who's testified in court before and been trained on it, here's a guy fighting for his life, so he's going to be nervous. He's never been in court before. He doesn't do it on an everyday basis like an attorney or, where you're in court and you're comfortable with it. A police officer, expert witnesses on DNA, stabs, whatever you have, fingerprints. they're more comfortable. So they're going to be more relaxed with the jury. But here, I think he has a big credibility problem. But this is gray, so it's better. I don't really like the tie. It's a little too busy. And these are just little things we're going through that as a trial attorney, everything matters. Because when you walk in the room, the jury's making up their decisions right away. They're like, oh, wait, do I like this person? Do I not like this person? What's my decision on the case? Because the way people make decisions is we make the decision first, and then...
You got to try to sway them.
No, they're going to pick the evidence that supports their position, and if it doesn't, they discard it. Our minds are not going to tell us that's how we do it, but that's really... kind of we make snap judgments and then we find the pieces that fit it. But that's what, as a trial attorney, what you're looking at and what you're trying to get your client to not change the facts, not lie, but to present it in a way that's believable. And you have to come up with one story that fits all the facts. And here they're also talking about there was no plan. And that's something else that happens in this one. So we're going to show the clip on that, and then we're going to talk about it.
The suspect email account, there was...
Back you up on some plan?
I mean, there was no plan at this point when we had gone to the range. There was no...
So what I can get from that is they had, before anything happened, him and the nanny went to a shooting range.
Right.
And the lawyer's like, so was she like going to pop in if you had to? Like, was she going to shoot too? And then he's like, well, we went before I even made it. I don't know. I feel like he kind of confesses right there a little bit. He's kind of like...
Yeah, but you're missing the thing, and this is the other thing. When you got 12 jurors, murder case, you're going to have 12, I thought you picked it up before, but he said at this point we didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
At this time, we didn't have a plan. See, the plan came later.
Yeah, exactly.
We had a plan, but right now we're just
shooting.
We're spitballing ideas. What are we gonna do? Should we do this? Let's practice shooting. I don't know if you're gonna shoot or I'm gonna shoot. Let's make sure we kill the catfish.
We both know how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
But the problem is word choice. And again, he's up on the stand, he's nervous, and it could be an innocent one, but it sure as heck ain't gonna look good if a juror picks up and goes, yeah, he said at this point we don't got a plan. The plan came back, the week later when somebody came up with, this is gonna work way better.
Right.
So again, it goes to nerves, it goes to witness-client prep, that you have to tell them, be careful with your word choice, did you kick the guy? Yeah, I kicked the guy. You went and did this? And you go, whoa, I didn't kick the guy. I punched him. He fell to the floor because I knocked him out. And then I'm like, hey, buddy, are you okay? And I kicked him with my foot. But see, if you say kicked him, yeah, I kicked the guy. Boom, while he's laying on the ground. That's why it matters, word choice and what you're using. And again, this is why trying cases is a lot of work, that a lot of prep goes into it. People don't get to see that part of it, but you're paying attention to the words, how everything flows. Does this part of the testimony story fit this part? Because if you're all over the place and those pieces don't fit, the jury will not acquit.
Yep.
So this next clip, and it's not clear because we do not have all the background. We might not have all the background. In this clip, he's basically saying, I cheat on my wife all the time. I'm going to fire the nanny. He's basically a piece of garbage.
No, she was scared that if the wife found out, she would fire her.
Oh, I thought he said I'm firing her.
No, that she wouldn't lose her job.
Let's play it. We'll start over.
She was going to be essentially fired and sent back and lose her job, which I indicated that I wasn't going to tell her.
Okay. Did you tell her?
Tell Christine.
He wasn't going to tell her.
What had just happened and what that was?
Yes, I mean, that would be that we were having an affair. I had also,
but now he's saying he was going to tell
her that I had previous affairs.
He's telling Juliana.
Not really. This was
that he has affairs. Like, it's no biggie.
Just
relax.
An affair, and not.
Nothing ever messes with me and Christina's marriage.
Okay.
What had just happened and what that was?
Yes, I mean, that would be that we were having an affair. I had also indicated to her that I had previous affairs. Not really, this was
A normal thing is
just
what he
an
wants
affair,
to say.
and not that there would be no other relationship, that there's, but basically that this is something that I have had affairs previously, and that there's nothing that changes in mine and Christine's relationship.
Who's Christine?
The wife.
That was,
That's what I mean. So he's telling this to a pair?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll start here. So, what I do not have enough background, and what you have to do sometimes is you do what's called a motion in limine, and you say to the court, Judge, we do not think this testimony should come in because it's highly prejudicial and it does not prove or disprove what happened. So, this kind of confusing testimony here, because unless you're in the courtroom and you know the entire context, they're using the she's and I told her. Who's her? Is that the au pair or the wife? That's why it can be very confusing when you're listening to just this clip. That's why, what did you tell the au pair? And I know the jury's there longer and they might get to know the characters better, not the characters, but the people involved. That's why you use the labels, because it's easier to follow. But basically what he's saying is, I'm a scumbag and I have affairs all the time, and you're kind of like, you're just another notch on my belt.
You'll be fine, Christine. She knows I sleep with people.
But the issue is, this is coming out on direct, so his attorney is bringing this out. And the question is, why are you doing this? Because you're going to look even worse to the jury. And so I think what you would do is a motion in limine and go, what's this really got to do with the case that he told her I have affairs all the time? So does it prove or disprove that he killed her?
Maybe it's more like, okay, we'll bring in that he has affairs, so maybe that's why when he heard he assumed like, oh, well, now she's getting back at me, or maybe we do this, maybe, you know what I mean by that?
I know, but he just comes off terribly.
Yeah.
So the prosecutor might be bringing it in, and what they would have done is a motion in limine, try and keep it out. The judge ruled against it and said, no, I find it's relevant because it's going to show some kind of issue.
Right.
But that's why you address it, but this doesn't seem like you want to bring it up.
No, not very likable.
Hey, everybody, I'm accused of murder and I cheat on my wife on all the time and everything, no big deal. Because it wasn't really, this was our relationship. She cheated on me, I cheated on her. It wasn't, they're down at the Villages over here in Florida and everybody's sleeping with everybody. Yeah. So, and again, what you'll see in this testimony is you're judging him and going, does he look credible? And again, he refuses to look at the jury or turn. You know, give him turns his head, but he doesn't turn his body and fully engage with them. That's where your credibility comes from. So he's just not a good witness. That's the problem, though. You got nervous people, never been in court before.
Yeah.
And you're trying to justify your actions, and you as an attorney got to go, look, that, you know, it is what it is, but we got to stay away from that if we can. So I don't think this clip helped him either. And now we go to... So the next clip we have here is the prosecutor doing the cross-examination. One of the things, I personally don't care, but you have to be careful of. You see the tattoo? You got tattoos, right?
Yeah.
And you're working here.
Yeah.
I don't care. Sam's got tattoos. Went and got them when we were in Vegas. I don't care. It doesn't bother me, but some people it does. And maybe want to cover it up. In a way, I'm glad she's not. She is who she is and everything, and I think she does a good job here. This is why I just did the seminar on visuals, and it's harder sometimes to do it, to keep bringing them out. I think she makes the point fine without it, but here was a big one because she's going, and I'm going to play the clip real quick, about his wife's dying and he doesn't do anything, because what do you see in every movie? Someone's, you know, bleeding and you immediately cover it up or put pressure on it to keep the heart.
From what I got is that him and the wife were both like this, like trying to hold it in, but the 911 instructor tells him to put like towels, blankets, like something that's gonna, I guess, take the blood.
Well, stop it, because you want to keep it from, you know, put pressure on it so it's not coming out.
Because he says, like, you guys are replacing your hand placements, and that's kind of what I thought.
Tending to your wife and exchanging hand placement with her over the wounds that we saw, you did not at that point in time use the towel, the blanket, the sheet, or the other blanket to staunch the flow of blood from her neck?
It wasn't until I was instructed to by 911 to do that. Pressure is a different form of treatment that we were taught, and
There, she leans in. This is perfect because she's going, what is this word soup you're telling me? And she does it in a perfect way because it's not outrageous.
Right.
It's just subtly bringing it forward like,
okay.
really? So wait, here she is dying in every movie. You got an au pair there. Hand me a towel. Hand me a bed sheet. Put it on her. Give me more sheets. Get me, and you know, and he's calm as heck on that 911 call.
that is also what Christine was doing. I believe that was the best course of action at the time.
To put pressure on the wound that was so large that your finger went inside of it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's really good. She's listening. And that's the important thing as a trial attorney. You have to listen to the answer so you can follow up and make a point about how stupid it is.
Yeah.
Because his finger's going in, that's no pressure. That's not going to save her, and you're going to bleed out, and that you're not stopping the blood from pumping. So, yeah, I think she did a fantastic job there. And again, I don't think he looked at this happens tremendously.
Did not at that point in time use the towel, the blanket, the sheet, or the other blanket to staunch the flow of blood from her neck?
It wasn't until I was instructed to by 911 to do that.
He's got tunnel vision. He's not looking at the jury. He's just looking at the prosecutor telling the story here, and the jury's just, you know, it's me and you having a conversation and going, hey, we really don't care about the podcast audience. We don't care about the jury, so I'm going to just have a conversation. It works great for the prosecutor, but for him it doesn't. I also like his suit better. Again, you're going, this is really nitty gritty, but it matters. Look at it. Maybe you can put up side by sides. Which one does he look more credible on? And you can show it, and you can show it to people and go, just friend viewers that maybe didn't see it or ever thought of this, go, he's telling two different stories. You can tell somebody and go, which one do you believe? Just tell them by the picture, which one do you think he's telling the truth on? And I'm going to bet you that you're looking 70-80% of people will pick, not knowing anything except just seeing the picture because of the blue versus that black color. But yeah, the prosecutor see her face right here, so she's like, the jury sees it, the jury knows it, and she's doing it very subtly, so it's very powerful, I think. I think even this woman is like in the background going, son, you know, doesn't make sense. And that's the problem. If you have a story that does not make sense, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
This ain't going well.
He says that when the 911 instructor tells him to use the towels, he uses it then. But then she's like, oh, well, when the cop showed up, where was the towel? And he was like, I think it was there. And it was actually on his knees. Like, if his knees were hurting and he just put the towel there while he's, like, fake saving his wife.
For his comfort, yeah. Fake save.
Yeah.
Fake save the wife. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look good for him.
No. Even his face here where he's looking down, his eyes are closed, you know, you got to be up and engaged. And again, it goes, it's not easy in prepping a client for trial because they're not used to it. And that's part of why he's coming across that way. And it's hard to prep somebody. It takes hours and hours and going through it and going, and that's why you film yourself too and go, look how you look on camera. Because even me, from doing videos, podcasts, Instagram, you know, you stand up straighter because a lot of times I'll lean into the camera because I'm like, you know, trying to engage. It's just the way I am. Like, well, let me tell you my story. That you stand back, you got to use timing, pauses, and pace yourself. And yeah, this look is going to tell you everything because the jury's the same. You know, they're going to be picking up on these things.
They're listening too, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so far not so good for the defense, I think, in this case.
Yeah.
But
I think he's guilty.
They're presumed innocent. We'll do that on another podcast, all right? Ease up, ease up.
Don't put me on the jury.
But again, any clips you want to see, any trials you want to see, we're going to do the Mangione, is that the shooting? Luigi. We were going to do it on this podcast. We ran out of time, but thank you for watching. And anything you want to see, any questions, please put it in the comments, and we're happy to do that for you. Thanks for watching.
Bye.